And here we are, Founder Jam. We are Founder Jam number 19. How did we get to Founder Jam number 19 already? I don't know. How did I get where I am today? I don't know. I had an amazingly long day of travel yesterday. I was in the air or sitting in airports or planes for well over 10 hours. I made it to South Dakota, and Founder Jam is on the road. And fitting that my shirt says up for air because I finally came up for air after all that travel yesterday. And speaking of coming up for air, my man with the fan in the background, Joseph Nolan, there he is. What's up, brother?
I thought you were going to make some comment about me being full of hot air, but that's all right, man. That's all right. Hey, good. Super excited for another week, man. Really excited for this week's topic. Good to see you again. Been following your travels on the gram. Looks exciting, as always. Very cool.
We're hanging in
Very
there,
cool.
Man. We are hanging in there. You're going to see some cornfields and some farmland over the next 2 weeks. I promise you. Maybe a few bikes. It's going to be.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. It's peaceful, man. It always looks. It's so scenic. I love it, man. Follow Bobby on Instagram right there, guys. At BDPOP. It's some great content. It really is.
Hit me up. I will be honest. Next Wednesday, Founder Jam, I will be absent, so not going to be able to be there. I will probably be on a bike or something. So I will. You'll have to follow me on the gram. That's it is. Anyway, so
maybe we play a rerun during that special. We go back to one of our top episodes.
Yeah, that's what we should. We should play the one with E-Money. We should play the one with E-Money.
That's true. Yeah, we had great feedback on him. Yeah, we need to have him on again.
That's my man, E-Money. Yeah. You know what he says. You know what E-Money says. Slow feet don't eat.
That's right.
Slow feet don't eat. So. All right, man. Well, listen, this week's topic is marketing. So I feel like Jono Marketing is a good person to talk to about marketing.
Yeah, I'd say we're among the best. Shameless plug, but no, I mean this is good. We haven't done a marketing one, I think, since pretty early on, right? We always get a lot of questions about marketing the business. I don't even think it's because we really both are in marketing now, right? Promoting our own business. And we just get a lot of questions about it, right? People are always asking us to talk about how to market better with digital. We have a lot of questions, especially on brick and mortar businesses around digital or B2B, right? We have tons of B2B. I know all the partners we work with, like in finance, accounting, bookkeeping, even for us, like our swag partners for t-shirts and hats and gear and stuff. So it is topic du jour. And yeah, really excited. I think we were going to put a different twist on it this time than we did about 6-8 weeks ago, which was very technical, right? Very, very technical, very tactical. Yeah. We got great feedback there. But today we're going to take a step back, and I think it's going to be a great conversation for marketing leaders at companies of any size, and especially founders and people in the C-suite, and even investors as well.
Awesome. That is cool. And then, of course, stick around for rapid fire. I'm coming strong this week, Joseph. I'm coming at you. I did my research on marketing, so just so you know, it's worth it to stick around this week. All right, let's hit up the questions. I don't want to delay too much. Who knows what's going on where I'm at here, so I got to make sure we get this thing in. So,
yes, sir. All right, man. Question number 1 is live on Twitter.
Awesome. And not quite live on my screen yet, so give me a minute.
All right.
That's all good.
What state are you in now, man? Just a quick update. Where are you at? What state?
I'm in South Dakota.
Wow. South Dakota, guys. South Dakota, man. Well, unbelievable.
Coming all the way from South Dakota.
Very cool.
You have to forgive me. My screen is messing up, but you already pumped it live, and
yeah, take your time, man. I like this camera angle better. The other one was getting a little glitchy again.
It was a little choppy.
It was a little choppy, like the early days of Founder Jam.
Yeah, well, we're going back. I don't know what it is. I can never figure it out. The internet connection here seems solid, but that's what happens. Okay, so was marketing your business a key part of your initial business plan? Was marketing a business a key part of your initial business plan? Well, I mean, before we even get to this actual question and the answers, I mean, I know there's a lot of things that you do when you start a business, but to me, marketing just seems like one of them. I don't know. So I guess this question is like, it's almost kind of coming from the marketing guy saying it better have been part of your
Yeah.
initial, right? I mean, is that
Well,
what you're getting at?
that's the thing, right? I mean, when we were talking before this, when I first started, general marketing was more like executive coaching, consulting, and in Q3 2019, we had a quarter where we talked with 10. This is true story. We talked with 10 founders of startups, very very small, self-funded, maybe 500,000 in capital. We talked with 10. None of them had included marketing their business in their business plan and their balance sheets. And they all had the exact same answer. We have a phenomenal product. We'll figure out how to market it later. And then ego kicked in with probably half of them, and even their investors, when we spoke to some of their investors, where they said, this is so good, people will want it. And that's great and all, but you have to find those people, convince them a little bit, right? Like there's some costs here. So this question, though seemingly kind of a duh type question, like an of course question, this just came out of experience where, for you and I, we talk about it all the time, right? Like we're talking about each other's realm in relation to our businesses weekly. But interestingly enough, for people who have a tremendous, and some of these ideas, man, were phenomenal ideas. In biotech, in local market grocery delivery, doing it differently than a lot of the big apps do it, and elder care. I mean, really game-changing ideas, but they had all never included marketing in their business plan and in their balance sheet for the first maybe 12 to 18 months of their runway.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I think when you talk about the ego thing, I had a guy on my podcast a few months ago now, Craig Burgess, really interesting marketing dude. And I think I brought this up before, but he made the comment about how, in today's digital world, it's almost more arrogant if you're not out there marketing yourself and building your brand publicly, because there's just so much information for you to assume. I don't care how good your product or
Right.
whatever it is that you provide is your service. It's arrogant for you to believe that people are just going to find you because you're so good. In reality, you got to rise above the noise. If you believe you're really good, it's great. That means you're committed and you think your business is awesome, which a lot of entrepreneurial business people think. So that's not making you special. Let's be honest.
That's right.
What's going to make you special is how you rise above. So excellent stuff. For me, initiate impact. Was marketing a key part of the plan? Yes, absolutely. A very, very big part of the plan. But I want to be clear, not a perfected,
Great point. That's a great point.
Stone, like we got the plan. We just knew that we had to do it well, and we're working through that now. We're getting better, but it's going to take time. But yes, absolutely a part of the plan. It's got to be. It's got to be.
And I think you maybe bring up a good point here, which is a distinction between like B2B and service type organizations, right? Where you and I have to find clients, right? How do we create those pipelines of new business in addition to the retention side? And I think that is where, for us, it's like default, right? Day one, how the heck am I going to make money? Who's going to pay me for my services? And versus products, right? Or even very pure play e-com type companies who it's just different, right? It's like a tangible good. They're like, well, someone will buy it. They'll tell their friends. I mean, we've heard all sorts of different things. Only rely on PR, and we've seen tremendous success with some of our clients and their PR teams. But again, when it comes to growth and scaling, interestingly enough, on the balance sheets of many companies, it's not included, or it's included in such a nominal way that it's not, it has zero impact on either bottom line, on head count, operational income, things like that.
When you talk about the balance sheet and maybe the budget too, I'd be curious to know what your experience is with that. It's probably different industries, but I know in the financial industry, advisors and teams are notorious for having a less than 5% of their budget being towards marketing, which if you look at most other businesses, from what I understand, that's terribly low.
Yeah.
You've got to invest in business.
Exactly. You know, we have a whole branch of Jono that works on that, you know, with our partners, right, around subscription business, especially how to price your different product portfolios, whether subscription or one-time purchase. But we try to simplify down, you know, like really simplify. And I think sometimes, since, you know, we have a lot of founders, right, a lot of the founders get worried when they meet with venture capital and investors because they're like all about the numbers. Well, at the end of the day, we have to be able to make money, right? We have to be profitable. So we take an approach where we've in some ways grossly simplified it to where, look, here's our product, here's our what our product costs, here's what we think we can sell it at, here are our fixed costs, right? Here are our variable costs, including marketing, agencies, design, etc. How much margin's left? It's actually quite simple, but I would say as someone who's looking to start other businesses outside of the marketing landscape, this is paramount, right? Like, so when I'm evaluating businesses, this is paramount to, like, well, how much money do we have to have before we think we'll be profitable, or can we be profitable with doing things in a particular way? And that could be anything. That could be from how you set up your website and your servers, to graphic design, to HR, you know, anything. So we really we encourage founders to start at the ground up. How much is your product? What does your margin look like? And now we understand how much capital we have to play with after sales.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty simple in my opinion. But
well, I think it's a mindset. I think it's a
Yeah.
mindset, you know, depending on what type of business you're in and how the system works, whether you come up or, you know, are you truly an entrepreneur owning your own business? That's one thing. But I think some of these other businesses, and I keep going back to ours, but that's what I know, when people are statutory employees, so they're kind of like independent contractors and they get certain expenses paid for and others not. They don't look at their revenue as revenue. They look at it as a paycheck. And so when you start talking about spending money on marketing and you're cutting into your paycheck and it's not
That's
your
right.
business revenue, and it's just not
That's
a good
right.
model, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I think it doesn't give you incentive to really grow your business, but that's another story. So
Yeah.
was marketing a key part of your initial business plan? I bet you we get mixed responses from people on this one, but anyway, that's a great question. That really is. So
Good deal. And I think the direction you took that, man, will mesh well with the next couple questions we have lined up.
yeah, absolutely. I think for the most part, when you say marketing to a business owner, I think they're going to agree that it's important. No one's going to say that I don't have to market my business at all. I mean, if that's the case, then either things are just rolling through the door and they don't have to worry about anything, or they're just not really even in growth mode. But really, a founder jam, I feel like we're talking about founders. You know, we're not mature business owner jam. This is founder jam. We're talking about new startup companies, and so how can a startup company be successful without without marketing the business? It just doesn't, it wouldn't make any sense. So anyway, cool. Well, question number 2, like you said, is pretty right in line with it. So let's hit that one up.
Yes, sir. It is live on the Twitterverse.
Bam. Do you feel comfortable and confident marketing your business? And I think you're right. This one does line up pretty well with where we went with it. So I don't know. You tell me. You got to be pretty comfortable. That's what you do.
Look, I equate it to, the experiences that we've had with, varieties of sizes of businesses, right? From $500 million to $50,000 a month businesses, right? And interestingly, what we encounter the businesses, typically, obviously, they come to talk to us because they don't feel good about their current marketing. So there is a little bit of a bias here, but I challenge everyone, if you're a business owner or you're in charge of the bottom line, especially finance, right? Finance sometimes by default has this more skeptical perspective on marketing, in my opinion, as a marketer, as they should. I don't think as marketers we should be afraid of that. We should be held accountable for the performance of our operations, and that should help us be better. But I still think when you ask many of these people, they view marketing as a cost, as a have to. It's not something they want to be doing, and I think it's something they're very uncomfortable with. And I caveat all of this with, I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing, because when you come to talk to me about accounting and financial in retirement investments and X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that is outside of my wheelhouse. I don't feel comfortable there, right? I think it's the same way for someone who develops a next generation water bottle, for instance, with new materials and is a material scientist who had a great idea. Now we're asking them to step way outside their comfort zone and say, are you comfortable marketing? And it's like, whoa, wait a second. Like, no, I don't know about that. How are we doing it? Who should be doing it? To what extent? What about our margin? I mean, there's 50 questions that come up. So I think it's important for people to understand that it's not, and this is something kind of like Mark talked about, right? Like early on about confidence and being uncomfortable a little bit, is it's okay to not be comfortable with marketing, but have a good perspective, right? And use your experience and knowledge to hopefully guide your business in the right direction and make good choices with what you're doing with marketing.
Yeah. Good choices come with being confident, I think. I think that in a lot of areas of life, but ultimately with what we're talking about here. And I think comfort level is there's a spectrum there. It's not I'm comfortable or I'm not comfortable. It's
we added that word later, right, to make this a little more provocative because it's a little more real, right? I mean, we said, are you confident is one thing, but being comfortable at the same time is a bit of another paradigm.
Yeah. In fact, I find that you have to step outside your comfort zone a little bit at times to really, Anyway, cool, man. That's a good one. Let's we're rolling here. We're Founder Jam 19. This is almost rapid fire itself.
We're bringing it, man. We are bringing it on marketing. Look, everyone's been asking for it, so we decided to step
There's going
up.
to be some good cut ups from this one. All right, let's hit up number 3.
All right, man. Number 3 is live.
Bam. What is the biggest marketing challenge? Planning, executing, or measuring? Man, I got some thoughts on this one. I could jam on this one.
You go first, man. You go first because I'm really interested to hear from non-marketers, right?
Yeah. So I love the planning part of it, to be honest with you. That's not a challenge at all. In fact, I might even overplan. So maybe it is a challenge because I overplan. But all of what we were talking about in the past couple questions makes me feel good about being a business owner. I actually understand and believe strongly in marketing, and I understand that there are costs associated with it that you have to take on. So the planning part of it's not too hard for me, or at least not too challenging, because I feel like it's important and we have to get it done. The executing is harder for sure, because it's hard because there's a lot of different techniques and there's a lot of different ways to execute your business. Execute your marketing. And I don't know if I don't know if any specific part of marketing is necessarily that hard. And this is no shot at your business, but I'm talking about the actual execution of it, right? Like if you have a good enough film crew, you can film a good commercial. If you want to buy ad space, you buy the ad space and you put it on the television or you put it on the radio or on social media. But it's the volume of all those things makes it really hard to execute. It's very hard as a business owner with only one business partner, 2 of us full-time employees at the company right now in our situation, that we can market on digital media and social media and TV and radio and print. And how do we want to do it? Do we want to do more branding? Do we want to do educational stuff? Do we want to do content marketing? Like it's just very, very hard to execute all of that at once. If I only had to do just one of them, I feel like maybe it'd be a little bit less challenging. Now measuring, that's a whole other story. That's the hardest part by far, I think. And I don't know what your experience of this with dealing with people, but I think marketing is very, very hard, especially today. It's not, I mean, if this was 50 years ago and I put an ad in the local newspaper and I spent $500 on it a month and I got 3 phone calls, it's pretty easy to measure that, in my opinion. But today, there's the numbers, first of all, are like astronomically higher. And then on top of that, there's different ways of doing it, right? Like, so not only if I want to try social media marketing, which is a broad term to begin with, but there's 15 different platforms. So do I want to compare all of them and then measure them? Or do I want to do one at a time and then measure them? But then you're thinking about, okay, it's a different time of year. So maybe that's why the numbers were different. So measuring is impossible. It's impossible. That's your job.
I love it because I'm so glad you shared a honest perspective, right? Because you sound that commentary was what we hear from founders, CEOs on a daily basis, right? It's we have to do all of these things. We know we have to be successful at a business. We have to be a little restrained, right? We know we have to do content. We know we have to do paid. We want to be on some broadcast. We want to do some PR, some partnerships. Okay, great. We know we have to do all those. They could all work well, but we have to be selective within each one of those channels. So how the heck do we do that? How do we then execute? Those are different skill sets. How do we find talent to be great at that for our business? And then how do we make sure it's all being effective, right? This is the constant conundrum sort of equation that the businesses are trying to find out. And I think it's in some ways it's very simple. In other ways it's not. I think it does depend on your business, right? When it comes to paid media, there are different ways of simplifying this pretty dramatically and removing a lot of the doubt and the indecision. If anybody has questions about that, happy to jam with you on that. Hit us up on the DMs, etc. But yeah, man, you sound like everyone else. I'd say it is possible to do these things, but understanding, I guess the best word is discretion. I guess is what it boils down to, right? With all of these, like from planning, execution, and measuring. We get things all the time like, what are we measuring? Why are we measuring it? When are we measuring it? To your point around seasonality, etc. So there's the discretion in how you behave and operate in each one of these three pillars that is arguably more important than the execution of each one of these pillars, right?
Yeah.
Like so how you're approaching them fundamentally is absolutely critical to what the output will be.
That's a great
I
point.
mean, maybe that's like saying, you're training to run a race and, it's a 1 mile race and you have to run it as fast as you can, but you always run the 1 mile really slow, right? You always jog and you never sprint, right? But yeah, I still did my 1 mile run, but it's not being done properly for the objective of a race. It's being done for like cardio or something. So that was top of mind. I've never used that analogy before. I don't know if that'll stick, but that's kind of where it is, right? I mean, helping people. Our job is to help people navigate that landscape, but it's not easy.
Navigate's a great word for what you do. Anyway, so hit up Joe No Marketing for sure, man. Hit up Joe get him on the DMs on Twitter or even on LinkedIn out there, because this is quite a journey. I can tell you from experience, marketing your business is a multifaceted process.
We've had great convos about it, man, right? Like you and I have had some awesome conversations about marketing. I mean, hit Bobby up too, because Bobby's got some amazing perspective as a business founder and someone who worked at a huge business. Right? You worked at a huge corporation before. So you kind of see both ends of the spectrum.
For sure. I've seen it. I've seen different ways to do it, successful, unsuccessful, but it all comes down to this. I'm telling you, it's not something that you can, it's a full-time job to really get all of those pieces right. The planning, the executing, and the measuring. I think it's great. I pray and hope and live for the day that I can understand the planning, contribute to it, direct it towards the vision to make sure it's what we're looking for, maybe even assist in some of the content part of the execution. But I want a paper handed to me that measures it, because the measuring part, but it's really navigating that road. So anyway, appreciate the knowledge and the information on that, man. I know that's something that you've been working hard on. You've studied for many, many, many years. You've easily put your 10,000 hours in. Malcolm Gladwell would call
just last week. I think we did that. I think last week we completed the 10,000 hours.
Is there 10,000 hours in a week?
In our weeks, if you add up all the time zones, maybe.
Yeah. And you put all the man hours, you put it all together. So that's great, man. Awesome. Well, anything left to add on that topic before I start hitting you up with rapid fire?
No, I think we're good. I mean, I honestly, this is obviously something I'm passionate about, but I do feel, this is a huge hurdle for founders, right? From your local store in the middle of town to an e-commerce business, it's a big challenge. I think you're not alone. And like we've always said, my number one advice everyone always says to me, I continue it, is talk to people, get other perspectives, right? That's the best way I've found in my career to get real knowledge. Sure, Google articles, etc., conferences are great, but reach out and talk to people and hear from them firsthand. And I think that should help you with your confidence and comfort level.
Awesome. There's so much information out there. There's Founder Jam, but there's also plenty of other places. So there's stuff there's ways to find out. And I think when you get involved in something, I hate to go off on a tangent here, but just what you were saying about getting involved in conferences and stuff like that, like you get involved with people who are interested in that stuff, you're bound to learn, and it becomes interesting. It's contagious, really. It's knowledge is contagious. I really believe that. So cool, man. All right.
Are we ready? I'm ready. So if we quoting back to our buddy Mark, Peak Performance, Mark Lassini, you mentioned there's going to be highs and lows in business and in life.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'll offer up here some humility to our audience that this portion of our show every week is quite a humbling low experience for myself, because I have been getting my ass kicked now on a weekly basis every Wednesday around 3:25 p.m. in the rapid fire. And I am trying. I want everyone to know that it's not for a lack of effort. I have tried to find obscure sources for my questions. I have studied financial industry data, and I am still getting crushed, but I will be relentless in my efforts. So I am here again, ready to go, hydrated.
Love it. And
brother.
I love being relentless. I've been tweeting a lot about that lately, man. Being consistent.
Relentlessly positive.
Yes, sir.
Coach Rick Neuheisel, UCLA Bruins, but go Trojans, obviously. Anyone out there, go Trojans.
Yeah, I can't believe you just talked about the Bruins.
Rick Neuheisel, though, man, one of my favorite coaches growing up, Colorado. Then he was at Washington, and his whole thing is being relentlessly positive. I don't know if that borderlines on delusional, that I'm going to do well right now. It might, but it's better than the alternative.
Don't be delusional. All right, here we go, man. We are
better than being negative. Bring it on, man. I'm ready.
All right. I got some good ones for you.
All right.
The first
I have to get one right this week.
First question for rapid fire. Let me get our little logo up here. There we go. Bam. Rapid fire. The first question. What was the date that the internet was created?
I know it's supposed to be rapid fire, but I actually went and toured, and I went to a symposium at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, California.
Interesting.
If you get a chance, man, actually, it is a phenomenal experience. It's definitely eye-opening.
Computer history. Okay.
I think the date that the internet was founded.
Yes, the date the internet was created. I have an exact date. You got to get within at least.
Wasn't it like Hello World? Wasn't that what the guy wrote? Was that it? Hello World?
Something like that, yeah. When was it?
I want to say like June 6th. Am I in the ballpark?
I need a year.
Oh, and the year? Oh man. June 6th, 1971. 72.
Oh, it's January 1st, 1983. So
that's not going to count. I was not within 10%.
The hippies, you were thinking like some kind of hipster, back in the early 70s was.
I was thinking maybe computers and not internet. Maybe that's
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
There was some kind of computer chip back in the 70s, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
even before that. All right, so the internet was created then. Now, how many people in today's world? Now, back then it was one, if that was when it was first created. How many people in today's world are on the internet?
In the world?
Yes.
2.9 billion.
4.66 billion people.
Again, I'm not even within 10%.
No, that was, I can't give you, I was trying to be,
That was like
I was trying to boost your
40%. That's a
confidence.
lot of people. I feel like it must have increased with maybe with all those satellites or something. And
Positivity.
yeah, those planes. It is really hard being positive at this moment. Once
I'll
again,
give you a
going
bonus.
0 for 2.
I'll give you a bonus. What percentage of the global population is that? 4.
What? That's got to be like 65%.
59.5%.
All right, I'm close.
I'll give it to you.
I get a half. Can I get a half a point?
You got the bonus. You got the bonus.
I don't want charity here. I just want to earn it.
One more bonus question.
These are the only questions. I only got 4 questions this week. 3 questions.
No. This is another. No, this is all bonus for question 3.
You're going easy on me. I don't want the charity, man.
No, this is a bonus one.
Give it to me straight up.
Harder than I think. I would have got this one wrong, I think.
Okay.
What percentage of that 59.5%, the 4.66 billion people, what percentage of them access the internet on their mobile device?
97%.
Oh, I'll give it to you. 92.6%.
Oh, nice. Very good. Yeah,
that was solid, man. I don't think I would have went that high.
No, man. Look, it's a huge deal on the other continents for sure, right? Everything's mobile. You know that. You've traveled all over the place, man. Yeah, they don't.
I would have said like 80, 75, 80. I thought maybe there's people. I guess when I think of mobile, I think that of more technologically advanced. So I guess I'm thinking maybe there's people out there with laptops, but maybe they completely skipped laptops because that was a more expensive, clunky type of device.
Yeah.
And now they're just using smartphones. So,
well, and you've seen too when you travel, right? Like I've seen people, I don't know if you can see it, like we take the phone like this quite a bit. And, we like overseas, they have flip up phones and they're typing and working on the phones and everything. It's quite a different, product experience,
You're right. Okay. Next question. This one was hard, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway.
Bring it. I got one right.
What? This makes me laugh. What is, now it's a unit of memory. I'll give you that. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. It's a unit of memory.
Okay.
But what the heck is an exabyte?
An exabyte?
An exabyte. EXABYTE. So basically what's the size of an exabyte?
Okay.
How many bytes is it?
How many bytes is in an exabyte?
Yeah.
Like how many kilobytes, I guess, right? Like how many kilobytes is in
Well, a byte is the smallest piece of information.
Right.
An exabyte, to my knowledge at this point, is the biggest one that I've ever been
in. Well, it's got to be bigger than like a petabyte, right? It's like then there's petabytes, petaflop drives or something. Exabyte is going to be 100 billion bytes.
Nope, you're way off. An exabyte is 1 quintillion bytes. 1 quintillion. And to put it in perspective, you know what a gigabyte is, right? That's a little bit easier to understand in the brain.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, an exabyte is 1 billion gigabytes.
Whoa, 1 billion gigabytes?
Yeah.
That's amazing we can even measure something like that, right?
Isn't that incredible?
Can we quantify? You thought measuring your marketing spend was challenging. Come on, man. Come on. We're not even in the realm.
Every year, about an exabyte is transferred across the internet from what I researched.
Exabyte. Wow.
Okay.
That's a good question, man. Fair question with my passion points. That was
a good one. That was a good question.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I should get points for just asking that question.
Well, normally you come out of left field with stuff that's like not in my wheelhouse at all, and I stand here and I take it head on.
You take it like McGregor took it the other on Saturday.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Anyway,
yes.
All right, here we go. Now I got 3 more questions for you. They're all the same question for different organizations, but I wanted to see your true knowledge of this space. Okay. What date was Facebook founded?
Come on, man. Come on.
Come on.
The date Facebook was founded?
Yeah, like you got to know at least the year.
2005. Yes.
Close.
2004.
Yes.
All right. 2004, February 2nd, 2004.
February 4th.
Ha ha!
All right.
Yes.
That's about as
Woo-hoo-hoo!
accurate as you can get.
Come
I'll
into
give
my wheelhouse, baby.
All right.
Then what happens, Bob? You
Okay.
step into digital marketing.
Okay.
Man, if that doesn't show everyone out there that I know what I'm talking about with digital marketing,
You should
come
Joe know
on.
marketing for Facebook marketing. He knows when it
Come
was founded.
on.
Okay.
Holy cow.
Next question. What is Mark Zuckerberg's favorite color? No, I'm just kidding. That's not a question.
Dark gray. Light gray.
No.
No.
What date was Twitter founded?
Twitter. That's one of the OGs, Twitter. I want to say 03. No.
It's not that OG.
No. Had to be end of 05, end of 2005, beginning of 2006. Am I close?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a hint. End of 05 or beginning of 06. Which was it?
06.
It's 06. I would say, let's go with like January 28th.
March 21st.
Damn.
26.
Damn, that was close.
Still pretty good though. You're in the realm.
I remember that because we talked about it in our graduate classes at USC.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Okay. Now you could probably guess the next question, but
Okay. YouTube or MySpace.
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. Okay.
This one surprised me. I double fact checked this one because I didn't believe it.
When was LinkedIn founded?
Yep.
2009?
No, it says, according to LinkedIn, began in co-founder Reid Hoffman's living room in 2002.
Oh, wow.
And was officially launched.
Question, yeah.
Was officially launched May 5th, 2003. So
wow. Yeah. Wow.
I didn't think it was older than the other ones.
No, man. That's a good one, man. That was a good question. That took a while to get traction, I feel like.
Yeah.
Long time. Wow.
I mean, I didn't think it was as old as Facebook and us. I didn't know. By the way, according to Statista, 74 zettabytes of data will be created in 2021. That's up from 59 zettabytes in 2020. So, and that's 1 trillion gigabytes.
I had a fun fact for you. I was about social networks. I didn't have any about petabytes or zettabytes. But fun fact I posted on Instagram. I was actually in the room for Facebook's second ever sales call with a potential advertiser when I was at Toyota. So pretty cool.
Awesome, man.
OGs.
You're on the cutting edge.
We're the OGs for sure. Now I'm dating myself, man.
You've seen some stuff though, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a fun call. I actually remember like it was yesterday, man. I remember like it was yesterday, and it was all about why it's going to be bigger and better than YouTube and MySpace. It was a fun call, man. It's a good time. It's good people in the room.
Awesome. All right, brother. Listen, that was a great Founder Jam as usual. Founder Jam 19. Like I said, I'll be absent next week, so more power to the people.
Reruns, guys. We'll throw some reruns up for everyone.
It's been a pleasure. Listen, if you're out there, you founded a business, you feel like you're wallowing in the woods of craziness of entrepreneurship, hit us up. We love having these conversations. We are experienced in business. We are somewhat experienced in founding. At least I am. Joe's been involved for quite a while, and I think it's really important for us to have conversations together. I think those things are extremely important. So you're a founder out there, hit us up at BDPod, Joseph J. Nolan on Twitter. Hit us up on LinkedIn as well. We love to chat about stuff. If we don't catch you next week, then we'll see you the week after. Everyone have a great afternoon. Joe, your final thoughts?
Hey, everyone, stay strong, persevere, right? There's going to be highs and lows. Stick with it. Be relentlessly positive.
Love
Have a
it.
great week.